This is 9 News Early Edition with Cassandra Wood.
Good morning. We begin with breaking news out of Queensland, where 2 prisoners are right now staging a protest on the roof of the Woodford jail. The men have been up there for several hours and are demanding to speak with the current affair host, Tracy Grimshaw. A code silver was initiated at the jail yesterday when the men began demanding a program for drug addiction. It's understood the prisoners were able to access the roof after cutting through a fence using toenail scissors. A 30-year-old man will face court today charged over a terrifying carjacking on the Gold Coast. It's alleged the suspect ambushed a 22-year-old woman, jumping into her car armed with a knife and demanding that she drive him to Southport. The tables were turned when she crashed into the wall of a police station, jumping out and running for help. The man was arrested a short time later. To Melbourne now, where the bomb squad has detonated a suspicious device discovered inside a woman's car in the city's southeast. Reporter Alicia Muelling joins me on the phone with the latest. Morning, Alicia. The incident sparked a major security scare. Alicia Muelling in Melbourne, thank you. And we will, of course, have more updates throughout the Today Show. Charges have been upgraded against a Queensland man accused of killing his father in a one-punch attack in Brisbane's CBD. Morgan Isles English and his father Mark were estranged, but allegedly came to blows during a chance encounter. Last night, the 25-year-old had his charge upgraded to unlawful striking causing death. The Australian Electoral Commission is investigating claims hundreds of votes in a knife-edge West Australian seat have been stored incorrectly. 3 years after ballot papers went missing in WA, voting results in Cowan could again be challenged because they weren't properly signed by a returning officer. The seat could make a big difference to Malcolm Turnbull as he tries to form government with the slimmest of majorities. But if the coalition falls short, senior Liberal MPs are confident their leader will still be able to negotiate his way into office. The cockpit voice recorder from the doomed Egypt Air flight indicates an attempt to put out a fire on board the jet. The Airbus A320 crashed into the Mediterranean Sea on its way from Paris to Cairo in May. Investigators are yet to make a ruling on the cause, but say the recordings point to a blaze in the flight's final moments. Former athlete Oscar Pistorius will today learn how long he'll spend in prison for the 2013 shooting death of his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp. The 29-year-old double amputee has been convicted of murder, which carries a mandatory 15-year jail term. Some legal experts believe the sentence will be reduced because of his disability. A quick look around the weather around the country for today. Windy but sunny in Brisbane, 18 the top. Also windy in Sydney with showers developing. Rain at times in Canberra. Also a wet day for Melbourne. Possible early drizzle in Hobart and cloudy with a top of 18 degrees in Perth. Coming up this morning, Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign receives a visit from a high-profile figure. We'll cross live to our reporter in the US. Prince William releases a powerful video message and takes a stand against bullying. And the moment a street race takes a dramatic turn as a car flips on a busy motorway. That's next.
Night after night, your number one news is Queensland's most complete news hour. The hour that delivers more news from your backyard. Night after night, Queensland is watching the number one news hour with Andrew Lofthouse and Melissa Downs on 9 News.
Taking a look now at the front pages. In Melbourne, the Herald Sun, police question 34-year-old Bassam Rad acquitted in Australia's biggest terror trial over the discovery of a woman's body in Melbourne's north. The Age, Malcolm Turnbull believes his chances of forming a majority government may be improving while also taking responsibility for a so-called flawed election campaign. To Brisbane and the Courier Mail, a man accused of a one-punch attack on his father has had his charge upgraded following the 53-year-old's death. The Adelaide Advertiser, dead loss is the headline. Revelations close to 4,500 dead people have received taxpayer-funded electricity concessions. The West Australian, the fisherman who discovered a woman's body in the Swan River. And the NT News, all guns blazing, assault rifles among firearm options being discussed for Northern Territory Police. Our top stories this morning, a Queensland man will face court today charged over a terrifying carjacking on the Gold Coast. The drawn-out federal election is again being tarnished by allegations of voting bungles in WA, And a wintry East Coast low is whipping up more wild weather across Victoria and New South Wales. Well, revenge is a dish best served ice cold. That's the lesson two American men have learned after they tried to prank a McDonald's employee. Just as the drive-thru worker was about to take their cash, they honked their horn and the young girl didn't respond well. The worker definitely had the last laugh when the pair and their truck were covered in soft drink. Serves them right. It's time now to check in with Lisa and Ben. Morning to you both. What's coming up on today?
Good morning, Cass. Now, we have a very busy show for you today, and we'll have more on that terrifying carjacking on the Gold Coast. Our reporter is at court.
Yeah, calling all parents will give you expert advice on how to get your kids off their screens and make more of the real world.
Oh, isn't that every parent's dilemma? Only in Australia we meet the world's only croc and UFO reporter.
Really? Mm-hmm. And we'll talk to the Aussie Uber driver who picked up a Hollywood superstar. You'll find out who a little later on.
Big star, that one. All that and much more coming up, Cass.
Love your work, Cass.
Thank you both. We'll see you shortly.
Thanks.
Still to come this morning, all of the day's sports news, including why a Blues veteran is worried Matt Moylan's Origin career could be over. Plus, the Kangaroos vow to turn their form slump around. And the athlete tipped to fly the Australian flag at the Rio Olympics. To the weather now, and on the satellite, a low pressure system off the east coast will send heavy showers and gusty winds to the coasts of eastern Victoria and New South Wales, while a series of troughs in the west will generate rain, heaviest over inland areas. Around the country today, windy but sunny in Brisbane with a top of 18. Also windy in Sydney with showers developing. Cloudy with a top of 18 degrees in Perth and blue skies and 33 in Darwin. That is Nine's early edition for this Wednesday. I'm Cassandra Wood. Thanks for your company. Time now for today.